excuse me.
I say, everyone, will you excuse me? I left something outside.
Once you smell it, and there goes your dandruff problem.
Hello, everybody. Greetings and salutations. All right. Where are we here? What is it? What are we? Who are we? What is this? What is this place? Test 1 2 1 2. All right, we're good today on things that were not good yesterday. All right, so that'll work there.
Beep boop bop beep boop beep.
Spinny
boop,
Camera McGee.
Beep beep boop boop beep. Beep, bop, boop.
There he is. There I see him.
In all my glory.
Oh, wait. That's not right, though. There we go.
In all my glory hole.
Ooh, that's good stuff there. I like that. How's it going?
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, that good,
Thanks.
eh?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's fantastic, Brian.
Yes.
I was just... Oh, you know what? Hold on. I gotta pull a plug on something. Hold on a second.
Okay. Life support?
No.
Ah!
I wish. I don't wish. That's a little dark. There we go. Too many headphones plugged in at once make things weird. I fix. I fix.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
We got everything? We got everything here. We got it all. Don't we?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. We got it all. All right. Let's see. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? I'm really not, though. Oh, you know what?
I know.
I know what it is. It's a file thing. Let's go here. TMS. 1623. Oh, whoops. That's no good. TMS 1623. There we go. Okay. All right.
I think this would be 16. I think you've got 1621. Oh, no, we didn't have. Oh, yeah, we did have a Thursday show. It just got cut early. I think this should be 1624.
Really? Let me check the...
Yeah. Look at the very bottom. 1227, 1621. 1220 to 1621.
Did I duplicate it? I may have.
I think you duplicated it. Did that mess up other things you did with the...
Well, I'm checking right now. Let's see. 1620. Oh, yeah, I put 1621 in twice.
You fool! You fool!
That's not good. Well, I'm going to change these descriptions to say 22.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you noticed that. I had no idea. Sorry.
I didn't notice it until... Well, here's what made me think of it, is that I did the new page for Icewarm on Coverville that lists all the songs we've played.
Yeah?
And I typed in 1622, no, 1623 for yesterday's show, just to kind of give him some text so that he wasn't going to a completely blank page.
Right.
And and I looked down and said, no, I don't think that number's right.
Yeah, you're totally right about this. I'm fixing it now.
Okay.
Okay, it is now 1624 across the board.
Good, yes.
Good.
At some point we should move that song listing over to the Frog Pants TMS site.
We could do that in a heartbeat.
The thing, I know.
It wouldn't take any
Might
time.
actually, the thing, it might not be a bad idea to do it soon because
Let's do it today.
oh geez, you're too fast for me, Scott Johnson.
We can do it
All
today.
right.
It's easy.
Okay.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
You just got to give Iceworm access. How do you feel about that? Does it scare you?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. What do I think I can get
You can make him a.
I can make him
I think
something.
you can make him a contributor, and that way he can't get in there and.
Yeah, I have to see. The Squarespace stuff's a little different. I'll have to figure that out.
Oh, right. You do this on Squarespace.
Yeah. I know I can do guest contributors, but I think it's only for like blog posts and things, not necessarily site control stuff. So I don't know. It's possible though. I'm glad you brought it up. We'll figure it out. That's a good point because it's a living list that's always changing. So,
Yeah, you know what maybe we do is have him put the HTML or whatever you need in these show notes, these here show notes, or in another document, and then you just boom, copy paste it right onto the Squarespace page.
Totally possible.
Right into the show notes for the what we could just put it right into the show notes that you already put on the site.
Yeah. We can we could do that every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a thing I could give him easy access to.
Yeah. All right, let's do that this afternoon.
Okay. I like it.
Yes.
Okay.
Making life better for listeners and fans alike.
Everyone, everywhere, always.
Everyone, everywhere.
Okay. We're going to record now. And it's happening now.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Except
good.
there's no read. There's an opening read.
Oh, well, then that's a thing I should do. Let's do that really fast. Damn it.
It would have been funny to go 3, 2, 1. And more on this episode of the morning stream.
I mean, what if it was just a rule and you had to do it and there was nothing you can do about it?
Right, that would be funny. We can't go back. We must go forward.
Let's see. Point of that. That's a funny one. Let's see. Some of these are funny. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. And we got Therapy Thursday. Whoops. Therapy Thursday. And more. Okay. Now we got it.
Cool.
We're good. We're good. All right. Here goes. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS. Where I lost where'd my page go? Oh, there it is. Let me do that again. Coming up on TMS. Candy burgers.
Operation Boomer is on.
Let me have a bite of that.
My wig.
I think this taco tastes like ass.
But my taco sauce.
Those don't go good together.
No.
Therapy Thursday and more on this episode of the morning stream.
You promised my dad that as soon as the war was over, you'd come back to the air circus. Why did you go back on that promise, Roy?
I really felt guilty about letting your father down. Only, this Robotech thing is so exciting, I just couldn't give it up.
Come on, Mike, don't be afraid. Jump. It's not high.
The morning stream. No, you better don't.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for Thursday, January 3rd, 2018. Scott Johnson here. Brian Ibbett there. Good morning. How are you?
Hi. Hello.
Hi
here
and
there,
hello.
And
Hi.
everywhere.
And everywhere, all at once. That's what we do. We're here to bring it to you. Once again, it's a weird week, though, because it's already Thursday, and it feels funky to me. It's a little funky.
I'm all right with that because it's such a dumb week and feels so like having a holiday in the middle of the week messes you up totally, right?
Totally.
So I think you need a short week to make up for that.
I agree. And here
So
it is.
I'm all right with that.
Here it is, being short, and it's about to get even shorter because tomorrow's Friday and it's already the weekend. That's just weird to me. It's weird that it's already the weekend or about to be. It's freaking me out. But hey, whatever. It's the new year. Did I say 2018 or 2019?
I don't know.
Did I say the right year, guys?
Only one person in the chat room shouted 2019, so maybe you did say 2018.
I might have. That's going to be hard for a while.
Yeah.
I hope I don't screw that up on a regular, consistent basis, but you'll have to forgive me. Anyway, I said 2018. It's 2019, damn it. 2019. Hey, yeah. Hey, Brian.
We'll see what shows up on my checks.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a question for you.
Yes.
The other day you made candy burgers, and then you didn't tell us about it.
That's exactly right. I forgot to talk about this on yesterday's show, but Saturday morning, before Film Sack, Tina and I went to another class at Sur La Table. So every year, my dad and stepmom give us a gift certificate for Sur La Table for classes.
Yeah. For those that don't know, it's what? Like, what's Sur La Table's? Like a place you buy chef stuff and all that?
Sur La Table is like a kitchen goods store, but more on the high. Well, I mean, I'd say probably on the higher end, like a Williams Sonoma, as opposed to the kitchen section of Kmart kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean,
it's a step up.
It's and you pay for that step up. Sadly, it's like, I really want this, like, microwave omelet maker, but it's $74, so I'm not going to get it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really cool store, and they have these classes. The one up in Boulder has this great space in the back where they have these classes. And last year, or 2 years ago now, because it's 2019, as you might remember, we took a class on knife skills, and it was a really, really cool class that taught you how to do all sorts of kind of advanced things, cutting an onion, just making 4 cuts in the onion and having it like all go into a nice perfectly diced onion, or cutting the best way to cut a green pepper so that you're not trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, kind of thing. It's really cool.
Sure.
So one of the things that we knew we wanted to do was take a class on making macarons. Now, clarification, macaroons and macarons are 2 different things. For you cookie aficionados out there, you know this already.
I thought it was macaron. It's not macaron?
Well, you could say it like that. Macaron.
I don't know. I'll look up the thing while you're talking.
I think it's macaron, like macaron. It's French, as opposed to the coconut cookie, which is a macaroon.
So the French president, Macron, it's not like that. It's not like that guy's name.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly. A little bit different from that. We were not learning how to make that, how to make a French president.
All right.
The macarons you see them in pastry display cases all the time. You see them on, British baking show, but they look like Oreo cookies, but perfectly round, satin, beautiful cookies on each end, and then a bright color filling in the middle. And usually their colors like green and blue and brown and pink and stuff like that.
Do they always match up with flavors when they're colored? Like if it's green, is it lime?
Often they do. If it's brown, it's going to be like an espresso or coffee flavor. If it's green, it's going to be pistachio. Pink is probably going to be like a strawberry or cherry or something like that.
Gotcha. All right.
And every time we go to Vegas, Tina and I have to go to the Venetian Hotel. There's a place there called the Bouchon Bakery that's modeled after the Bouchon Bakery in France, obviously, or Italy, I guess it would be, because it's Venice. No, it's French. It's got to be. It's the Bouchon Bakery in France.
Yeah.
And they have the best macarons there. Absolutely amazing, and it's a requirement when we go out there. So we decided to take a class on making them, and it's a very involved process with a lot of freaking precision, right? So it's making a meringue base and then adding almond flour and there we go. Good. TV Zegon posted a difference between macarons, and macaron.
Yeah, which is your French president. I'm going to play. Here's what the internet says how you're supposed to say it. Here, check it out.
In English, macaron.
So macaron, you are right.
Macaron, yeah.
See, I thought it was.
Well, I'm close. I think I was saying macaron.
Oh, macaron. Yeah, you're putting an E on there. No E. No E, Brian.
Exactly.
No E.
Exactly. Anyway, so, but yeah, you've got to make this, whip up this meringue, add your dry ingredients to it, which have to be sifted 3 times, and in and all this stuff. Now there's 16 people in the class, so we got paired up with another couple, a couple that were visiting from Virginia Beach. These two, like, they walked off the top of a wedding cake. I swear to God. Like, if there was a prom king and queen of cookie making class, of Sur La Table, these two would have been it. They were like, he was just, super handsome. She's just adorable, like the perfect couple. Visiting Colorado from Virginia Beach, and decided one of the things they would do when they were out here was take a cooking class, a macaron cooking class together, which is kind of surprising because you think, all right, I'm going to Colorado. You don't think, Colorado and macarons are hand in hand.
Not necessarily. Venetian origin. Then the Queen of France took him back with her and basically made him French from then on. And then,
is that the deal?
That's what, according to Wikipedia. And then Brian Ibbett made him.
Exactly.
You can draw a line from all of that history right to Brian Ibbett making him.
And then Bono came out on stage and said, Brian took these cookies from France. We're taking them back.
Bloody Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're making them together, and we're taking turns, and they're like all nervous, like, oh, I don't want to mess stuff up. So you sift the flour, and I'm going to try this. And you shove all the batter into piping bags, and you have to pipe them out onto your cookie sheet, onto your silicone mat on the cookie sheet in these little circles. And then they'll puff up. They'll develop that nice smooth satin top and a little bit of a shoe underneath them, which is what it's called, like that strip of puffed upness on the bottom.
Right.
And then you fill them, while they're baking, you fill them and all that stuff. And we had to learn all these tricks about, like, when you're getting the stiff peaks, when you're whipping something up and you got it says, make sure they're stiff peaks. We got the demonstration on how you test for that, because it's not just like looking in the bowl and saying, looks like stiff peaks to me. You got to take the whisk, dip it down into it, flip the whisk over, and see what the meringue looks like on top. And if it's flaccid and bends over, like like the last couple of minutes of a porno, then you want to put it back in there. But if it's
wow.
But if it stays straight up like the first couple of minutes of a porno. Anyway, but we learned, like, how to tell, medium. I'm just going to keep saying stiff peaks. Medium versus. Anyway, so we make all this, and we're making about 24 cookies per batch. And as we're filling them, we're kind of setting them on this little tray in between us and the other couple. And then they give us these boxes to put them in. And we're noticing that our box has like 8, 9, 10 in it, and their box has 1 or 2.
Oh.
And it's because they're kind of doing the Lucy Ricardo thing, the Lucy Ricardo chocolate conveyor belt deal. And for every one that they put in their box, they're eating like 2.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this one, I kind of messed it up. just eating it. And their excuse is, well, we're going to be driving around. We have a hotel, but we're going to be going down to Colorado Springs today, and we're going to be going over to Vail tomorrow, and we don't want to have these things in the car. So their excuse of just scarfing these things down was that they're going to be in the car driving around with them.
Yeah. Also, I can eat one of those and then I don't want any more. That's how I feel about macarons. It's not that I don't like them.
No, they're super sweet. Now, after making them, I wanted to kind of enforce my knowledge of it, or reinforce my knowledge of it, I guess. We went to a brunch on New Year's Day over at my aunt and uncle's house, and we decided, well, we're taking cut fruit for the brunch, but we're also going to take some macarons. And so I decided to make mocha macarons with vanilla buttercream frosting between them. And we did way smaller macarons than the one that I put on the put on Twitter. And here's the problem. We did not make our peaks stiff enough. Our peaks were just on the edge of not being stiff enough. So when we baked them, there was a little bit of kind of volcano eruption going on the tops of each of them. They did not have the smooth satin finish. They went kind of opened up on top. They tasted absolutely amazing. They came out fine flavor-wise, but Paul Hollywood would have knocked us down a few pegs for having the tops broken.
Yeah, he would have given you heat for presentation, but he would have been happy. We just said they taste really good. He'd say at the end, and then he wouldn't shake your hand because you're not a lady, and he's not.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Well. He shakes guys' hands too. You just got to really impress Paul Hollywood.
Sometimes he's got an eye for the ladies. Is what
you know
I'm
what?
saying.
I think in this most recent season, I think he shook more guys' hands than he did women's.
Oh, I don't know. That French lady, he was awful friendly with her. He was awful cozy with the French lady.
That is what he got in trouble for, didn't he? Isn't that?
Yeah, he's got some history there with the stuff.
Now, I wish I would have gotten a better picture of him, but the one thing that I wanted to make sure I made note of to talk about on the show was our instructor at Sur La Table. Really, really nice guy. Obviously knew his stuff when it came to making these. Dude looked identical, just like Michael Cera.
Oh, really?
Like if you gave Michael Cera a haircut on the sides, a spitting image. And I got a photo. I'll have to send it over to you. You kind of got to zoom in, and it's from the side. It's not as obvious, but you know what? I'll send that to you while we're talking about it. But the whole time, Tina, they're like, okay, well, if you can go ahead and if you want to start whipping your meringue. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you don't have to do that. Like the whole Michael Cera awkwardness.
Really? Does he know? Is he aware that he's embodying the Michael Cera, or does he not know that he looks like him and sounds like him and all that?
Oh, it just looks like him. That's the voice we were doing was the Michael Cera voice.
All right.
He didn't sound like him as much as I'm making it sound. I'm sending you the text with the photo in there. He's just to the left of the S in Sur La Table, and if you zoom in, you can kind of see.
So I'm looking at these pictures of Paul Hollywood and being reminded that he's 52, by the way. He's currently dating a 22-year-old. So there's that.
Of course he is.
Yeah, it's going well for Paul Hollywood, I guess.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
he's only 52.
Yeah, you thought
that
he was older?
Kind of surprises me. I thought older. Yeah.
No, I thought.
Didn't you
I figured somewhere in that range. I mean, the super white hair probably a giveaway, but
he looks more than 2 years older than Marilyn Manson and Dave Grohl, doesn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
I'd say he certainly looks more than 2 years older than us.
That's true. I'll give you that. But he's got, he samples a lot of baked goods, man. You're gonna get you lose like 20 years of your life when you do nothing but sample baked goods.
God, I know, right? That's how do you not become enormous being a judge on a baking competition show?
I don't know. Maybe they go purge after. Maybe they're like, oh, that's a lovely sponge. Who knows? But anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I mean, I guess power to him. I can't really.
I can judge him a little. He's kind of a douche and kind of screwed his wife over. I think he's a douche.
Well,
look, if he was a guy that was just like
that he was. That's right. He was married.
Oh
for a
yeah,
while,
heck yeah. And if he was just swinging single his whole life, and then suddenly went, "Hey, I finally found someone to settle down with. She happens to be 22, but that's fine. Whatever, man. You're a consenting adult. Go at it." But no, he's like Mr. Midlifer. Fame came late.
Gonna trade in my wedding cake for a Victorian sponge that's been in the oven a little bit last time.
Basically. That's a good way to put it, actually. And this is all after his affair with like the American host lady.
She's got a soggier bottom.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he'll shake that hand. I'll tell you what. Anyway, well, good luck to him. Well, all right, that sounds like fun, and everyone should do cooking classes. They're fun. We did them too, and they're a good time.
They're fun. We got another gift card for this year, and what I'm going to try and find is I want to do pasta rolling. I want to learn how to roll pasta because I'm tired of making pasta that comes out of a box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's where we get it, right? It's
at
the store.
We shouldn't
I
have
agree.
to, Scott.
I agree. We should all have one of those weird racks in our kitchen, and we should all be pulling it over it and having it all that, and then it should hang and dry. Yep. Exactly. We should do that, but we don't because we live in this society where it's like, everything's made for you. It's easier, so come get it. And I applaud you and take my hat off and bow and say, go for it. Good luck.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Let's see what else we got here.
What else do we have?
Chat room, I don't care what Paul Hollywood does, okay? It's not that big a deal. Don't read too much into what I'm saying. I just wouldn't trust him around my daughter. That's all. because she's by the way 23. So
right, she's a year older than that 52-year-old guy's current girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to put that out there. He is absolutely old enough, and not in like a "oops, I got pregnant in high school" kind of way. Old enough to be her dad. So
do they show like do they show who she is? Like, is she a former contestant or something?
I don't know what she is right now. I don't know who this one is. It just says.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
She actually looks older.
There it is, meaning the article. There is the article right there, not Paul Hollywood or she.
Yeah, or them as a unit. You could call them as a unit and it.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
No, she does not look familiar as a contestant. So.
Right. I mean, can you? Okay, I just want you to try to imagine in any reality.
Okay.
You or I, either one of us. Dating a 22-year-old.
No.
Not a chance.
I don't. Yeah.
Not a freaking chance.
So Tina ups and says, we had a good run, Brian. I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
I say, okay, that's cool. Need some boxes? I'll help you out. As if I'd get the house. Let's not make that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I'll start boxing up my stuff and be out of your hair. And then, a few weeks later, after a good period of getting back out there, whatever, I meet a 22-year-old and say, no, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could date a 22-year-old.
No, I mean, I know how this stuff happens. He's now a popular face that they see on Netflix. And so a 22-year-old who's completely enamored with him, she seeks him out, right? She's flirting with him. That's where it begins. It's not the same as like you going to the mall and Brian prowling around for 22-year-olds. So I get that it's he's living in a different place than I am, but I just can't imagine it.
That totally is it too. That is it is in the literal and figurative different place. Yeah. I'm just in a different place than a 22-year-old right now. And
you couldn't say it any better than that. And it's quite literally a very different place to have to find yourself in. But not only that,
I just couldn't handle all the selfies, Scott. I couldn't handle all the selfies and all the pumpkin spice lattes. That would be the
yeah, it's like, I've got to go judge a cooking competition. Hold on, let me take a selfie. And then my daughter's 23 and this lady's 22. Imagine Thanksgiving where I got to go, now be nice to your stepmom, who's a year younger than you.
That's right. Make sure you listen to your.
It's jacked up, man. It's jacked up.
That is jacked up. Does he have any kids?
I don't know. The junior Hollywoods? I don't know. Like,
little Hollywoods.
Yeah. What would they be called? Let's think of some names for his kids. Jack's probably pretty likely because Jack Hollywood sounds cool.
Jack Hollywood. I'm going to take a look here and see if he's got...
Let's see if he's got any kids. And that's great if he does. I just must be weird for them. Tell me he doesn't have anyone who's 22.
One child, yes.
Okay, how old?
Getting to it. Here we go.
I guess he started late is my guess. So probably younger.
Oh, yeah. So he had an affair on the American baking competition, Marcella Valladolid.
Yeah.
Valladolid.
She was the American
then
host
lady. Then they reconciled.
lady.
Then they separated again in November 2017, and then he started. But it does not say...
Good. Keep that kid out of the limelight. Don't need that Paul Hollywood thick glaze of cake frosting on your career, whatever you decide to do. Josh Hollywood, says the Lucas Light.
Josh Hollywood.
Brad Hollywood. Any name works, actually. Yeah. Brian Hollywood's not bad.
That's not bad, actually. Yeah. I'd take it.
Scott Hollywood. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, Mick Jagger had kids with someone who was super young. Of course he did.
Totally. Yes. Jerry Hall.
Yeah. Isn't, not that it's the same, but I want to say the same kind of age difference is going on with... Patrick
Paul
Stewart.
McCartney, I think, even has. It really is Josh Hollywood, by the way.
Oh, it is.
It is, and Josh turned 17 this last October.
Oh wow! Okay,
so he's 3 years younger than Paul's girlfriend. Like,
oh, Dad, who are you bringing home this week?
Yeah,
don't worry, son. She's
Oh,
she's
well.
not a minor. It's fine. All right. Yeah, somebody.
Oh, she's 23. Barmaid Summer Montes dash Fulham. Summer Montes Fulham.
That's not a real name, is it? Is that a made-up name?
Apparently is.
All right, that's fine.
Anyway.
Hey, a quick thing here for the fine folks listening at home. By the way, last night I don't know if you can die from such a thing, but I misread a bottle of melatonin because I was like couldn't sleep. I was like, gosh dang it, I need to freaking sleep. I was up drawing a robot all night. Don't ask me why.
I saw your animated assembly of it, which looked so cool. There's something about watching you do that or watching one of those go fast where it looks like the light is moving across it like it's
yeah, isn't that cool?
Like it's going across the skyline, just the way you do the shading and the coloring and stuff. Amazing.
So what's cool about it is the thing when I do that, it records it at a much slower speed than that. Not real time, still sped up, but it's like I don't know, 400 times faster or something. And that's fun to watch also, but it'd probably take a minute and a half, 2 minutes to get through. What I did for that GIF was manually capture screen and then just scrub through it really quick. And then export that out, and then using Giphy Cam, made a little 3-second GIF out of it. And I think I'm going to do those more because they're much easier to swallow. You don't have to dedicate any time to it. It's great for sort of Twitter stuff. So I think I'm going to do that for now. But I was up drawing that damn robot all night, and about midnight and a half, I'm going, oh my gosh, freaking somebody put me out here. So I reach over to this bottle of melatonin, and it's dark, and my eyes are kind of strained from drawing, and I look at it, and I see take 2 at night, 20 minutes before bed or whatever. And I went, 2, I can do 2. Let's get these 2 in me. Took them in, drank them down, and then flattened me out, dude. Just boing. I was so tired and so completely hammered. And I wake up this morning just going, oh, it's like a truck hit me because it was so much. And I look at the damn thing, and it says, take 1. It didn't say 2. It said 1.
Oops.
It take 1.
Oops.
So I doubled up. And usually I have to double up because things don't work for me unless I double up.
Yeah, right.
So I almost took 4 because I thought, I should double up.
Wow.
I didn't, and it probably would have been fine. I mean, I don't know that it's going to hurt me.
I don't think it would have killed you because it's just producing what do glands produce in your body? Because isn't it a gland that produces melatonin?
Yeah, it's a hormone. Is it a hormone?
Hormone. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, a hormone.
It wouldn't have killed you. It just would have. I don't even know. I mean, you probably just would have slept longer.
I've never, I've got hormones. I've got hormones, but I've never heard a hormone.
Oh, jeez.
Look at that. There's a play on words.
Paul Hollywood has.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Plenty of times. But it's a nice thing usually, and this time I just overdid it. So anyway, there's that. And then here's the other thing. Hey, everybody listening who heard our poor sad story about Boomer and her operation coming up on the 10th. Her hip dysplasia is the technical way of saying it, but really what happened is got in a wrestling match with Izzy, and Izzy sat on her leg in such a way that it popped her bone out of her socket, and it never healed again because she's a puppy and she's a breed that doesn't like to heal that way. So her leg just completely popped out of there, and her bone, we've got x-ray. We've talked about this on the show. Her x-rays show it. It's gross. She limps constantly. She has to have the surgery. There's no other option. So I guess you could cut her leg off, but who's going to do that? That's terrible, right? So it's Nick's dog, and he refuses to let anyone take responsibility for this dog but himself because he just is that way. It's how we raised him. So he's serious about paying for it. It's an $1,800 bill, and he really wants to cover it, and he won't let me even help. He's just like, Dad, I want to do this. I need to do this. I go, yeah, Nick, but you don't even have that much in the bank. You're going to go broke. Like, this is dumb. We should do what we can. So we came up with a compromise, and the compromise was, as explained on a previous episode, that we would make something to put on the store that people could actually have and get so they get something for their money, but all proceeds would go to pay for this surgery or to help it at some rate. And so that's what we've done over at frogpants.com/store. It's the very first listing, and I'll tell you what's in it. You have 2 choices. Some people have bought both, which is super nice. I don't know why they'd do that, but they did. These are print packs. One of them is 5 prints. One of them is a hand-drawn thank you card from Nick. He did this version of Spider-Man that's pretty awesome. I think people will be impressed with it. But anyway, it's
very cool. I didn't realize Nick drew that. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's
the shading on the head is incredible. Like
stupid talented. It drives me crazy. Yeah, he hasn't even tried. No classes really. Doesn't even have to think about it. Just poops it out and goes, "Here, Dad, what do you think?" It drives me nuts. He's so good at his age. It irritates me. But anyway, Running with Pencil, Naked Mario. Oh, here, Chad, I can show you on the screen.
It's Operation Boomer Operation.
Yeah, Operation Boomer Operations. These are the prints included in there. So you got 4 of these 4x4s. This Mario here, who's naked and has tan feet for some reason. You have zombie SpongeBob, Star Trek dude, a red shirt, visiting a planet and trying to scan this creature. And then you got Nick's Thanks thing, which is also a 4x4 with his Spider-Man rendering. So that particular package is for $10 is all. And then the second package, if you want to upgrade to it, is a series of 9x12 prints, all drawn by me. Various stuff, all kind of diverse, and those are all signed as long as they last anyway. We got stacks of those that we've signed ahead of time, and so, oh my gosh, I just found out what's inside of this 8-ball. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh,
wow,
gross.
You're doing 8-balls while we're doing the show?
No, it's a somebody gave me one of those stress ball things that you squish. Here, chat. Here, I'll show you what it is. It's this thing. And it's got an 8. Well, it's kind of rubbed off, but it had an 8 on there, like an 8-ball. And you just squish it and squeeze it. And I thought it was solid like rubber. It's not. There's some kind of very sticky goo in it. And it just popped as I was talking. Fantastic.
Oh,
that's just great. That's what you want. All right, we're going to put that right there. And try to ignore that for a minute. All right, anyway. So then, yeah, you get these prints. That one's 20. So 10 and 20, 0 shipping. It doesn't matter where you live. So if you're in, like, Australia... you don't have to pay shipping on either of these. Normally we have shipping associated with orders. That is not the case here because we're trying to make this as cheap as possible. So 10 or 20, we'll ship them anywhere. Every single penny past cost, for making them and shipping them, goes to helping Nick with his with this surgery. And he really is loath to even ask for anything. So that's why I'm doing this for him, because I want to help him out. So he's a good kid. He's an awesome dog. I want to help him. And you guys can be instrumental in helping us do that. So check it out. Again, go to frogpants.com/store, especially those that are just listening and can't see the stuff I'm putting up on screen. That's frogpants.com/store. It is the very first listing right there up front. You just click it, check it out. A bunch of stuff to read about it if you want to know more. And then it'll be coming to you again. Free shipping. Cool. Yeah, there's that. I guess that's everything. Should we do the news?
Okay.
What do you say about the
Let's
news?
do the news.
Okay,
News
Brian. I like it. Hold on. Shit. Here it is.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, it's the news brought to you by...
It's what you get when you combine Scott and Kim. And no, it's not Cot, it's Skim.
Oh.
Recording today at what time? 5 p.m.?
5 p.m. Mountain Time. That is correct. Well done.
There you go.
Yeah, that's today, and we're looking forward to that. Catch up with the Johnsons, I suppose, is what we should call it.
Keeping up with the Card-Johnsians.
You don't think this stuff's got like a carcinogenic, like nightmare fluid, do you? Like it's going to kill me or
the goo inside an 8-ball?
Yeah. I mean, what kind of stress ball pops after you squeeze it for a few days? It's not
one that's not designed to handle your level of stress.
It's not even. It's just like me barely kind of dinking with it. Here it is in my hand while I talk on shows and stuff.
That's you're saying that's one of the cloth wrapped ones, right? Where you've got cloth and then the.
No, it's an outer rubber thing. It's a rubber material.
Oh.
And then inside, I guess, is this gelatinous. Very sticky goo.
I was thinking it was the like the Magic 8-ball, like the plastic. Ask again or
right.
Signs are hazy.
It's really weird.
Anyway, all signs point to yes. That's the one.
The answer, the lesson is don't squeeze your ball till sticky goo comes out. All right, here's the story of the day, the big top story. Whoops, that was weird. Why didn't that do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to need to diagram this headline out.
Florida man bites his brother's penis off after he walks in on his brother having sex with his cousin on his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
Okay, all right. So, hold on. All right, so.
Get a diagram going.
All right, so Florida.
Yeah.
Let's start there. All right. Okay.
America's wiener. Got it.
Biting his brother's penis off after he walks in on his brother having sex with his cousin. I guess it would be both of their cousins.
Yes.
On his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
Yeah, you got it. Well done, sir.
Yeah. So wait. Yeah, here's the and we're sure this is real, right? This
That's
is
supposed to be real. I mean, it's interestingnews.blogspot.com, so it could be complete hokum. But this was sent, and it's, by the way, an older article. It's back in July. However, yeah, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Well, can I? Oh, God, this is the photo. This guy with the... I think it's got to be fake.
It's probably fake.
I like how the site is titled Interesting News.
Yeah.
Yet the URL is entirestingnews.blogspot.com. It's not even, they don't even spell interesting correctly in the URL.
Yeah, it's probably fake. I mean, there's no, let's see, it's hospital severe injuries. Yeah, there's no link to any kind of like whatever. But I got this from like 5 listeners. So I thought, let's let it air out. Let's hang it on the line and see what we can see. Yeah. And I am with you 100% that it's probably either fake or highly dubious.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Google Snopes Dragon Ball Z blanket.
Okay.
Because I figure that's the one aspect of this story that might.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball Z part is the interesting bit for me anyway.
Here we go. No, this Florida story. Well, this one.
Did it come up?
Oh, it's funny. It got posted on CNN Miami as well.
Oh.
Back in July of last year.
Yeah, July of 2018.
Yep.
Any verification? You get chat room. Look at this guy's hair.
I'm looking for a link. There's no link where they really do say that it's
fake or real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. But I'm sure it's fake.
It could be small. It could be way under the radar.
That's true. You thinking it's real and small or fake and small?
Fake and small. Meaning fake enough to, if you wanted to prove it out, you could, but small enough that they didn't bother with it. Is my thinking. Plus, why do they always do this one telltale thing, which is put some guy in there with like the weirdest possible hair or the weirdest face?
Right, exactly. Well, I love the fact that in Twizzle, that's the same link that I found, and using an iHeartRadio blog page to disprove another article isn't what I'd call the end all be all.
Oh, is that what this is? 96.1kiss.iheart.com. Well, this must be some Pittsburgh radio station.
Yeah.
Boy, look at those two. Look at those disc jockeys. Brian, why aren't we these guys?
Right, I know. Does it say what their name is, by the way?
I'm looking right here. The Morning Freak Show. Mikey and Bob.
Oh,
it's the Morning Freak Show with Mikey and Bob.
I mean, Morning Freak Show, okay, so they get 1 point for that, but they lose a point for just Mikey and Bob. One of them has to be named Refrigerator. Like it's the Morning Freak Show with Mikey and Refrigerator Joe.
Yeah, and Refrigerator Joe, or Bob here. Refrigerator Bob, there you go. He's shirtless in this photo. That's not, I mean, that's fine, I guess. Whatever. Do what you got to do.
I guess, it's all in how you do your radio show. Yeah, he totally is.
All right, so they say...
if that's Mikey to the left. Mikey looks awfully happy about putting his arm around shirtless Refrigerator Bob.
There's an article I just got distracted by here. Eddie Murphy poses for rare photo with all 10 of his children. Okay. His oldest daughter, 29. Oh, wow. He has 10 kids? Eddie Murphy does? Oh, yeah.
Wow, I did not realize.
Look at all these kids. And one of them's tiny.
If you go to the Morning Freak Show page, so from that article, you go up to the top menu and choose Mikey and Bob blog, Mikey and Bob podcast.
Yeah.
Mikey's clearly the brains of this operation. Well, I guess I don't know which one's Mikey and which one's Bob. Oh, here we go. We could probably look at Mikey's Twitter.
Oh, Bob's shirt is off, if that's Bob. Bob's shirt is off in their album art as well. It looks like that's a thing. He's shirtless.
Oh, Mikey! Yeah, Mikey is he's the Laurel.
Oh.
he's the Costello to. No, I guess he'd be the Abbott. Shoot, now I can't remember which one was the.
Let's see what they.
The bigger dude.
Oh, you have to sign up to listen. All right, I don't want to do that.
But you look at these photos from the Morning Freak Show, and Mikey's clearly the brains of the operation. Mikey's got 6 monitors surrounding him, and Bob just has a microphone. But he does have a shirt on, so I'll give him that.
Oh, he does? Oh, man, I was really hoping they'd be consistent with their theme.
That he actually does the radio shirtless.
Yeah. Costello.
Costello was Costello was the fat dude. Abbott was the skinny dude. Right?
In Abbott and Costello, yes, but in Laurel and Hardy, Laurel was
the
Stan
skinny
Laurel's
dude.
skinny
Hardy
dude.
was, yes, Oliver Hardy was the fat dude.
Good early reviews for that Oliver and Hardy biopic, by the way. I'm excited about it.
It's not Oliver and Hardy. That'd be like
sorry, Laurel and Hardy.
Lou and Costello.
Yeah, Lou and Costello. Brian and Ibbett. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
What's it called? I forget what it's called. Anyway.
Stan and Laurel, right?
Stan and Laurel, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And it looks like something I would like anyway, but the reviews are already good, and that makes me happy. So we'll see how that is.
I can't wait to finally find out who's on first.
Well,
I know that's the Abbott and Costello.
That's all right. I liked it though. It's like you saying, "What if Zelda was a boy?" or something like that.
Right, exactly.
I love when people do that one. All right, do you want to see this? We can watch as Miss Africa's wig catches on fire on live TV. Is this interesting to you at all? Do you want to?
Well,
I don't want to revel in her embarrassment or anything, but apparently this happened.
Is she okay? Is the first thing.
She's okay.
Before I watch this, I want to know, is she okay?
Her hair is not. She is fine.
And are they still going to air the Pepsi commercial?
Yes, they're going to still show the Pepsi commercial, but you won't see the part where she runs out crying and then deciding to make herself look like a ghost for the rest of her life. You won't see that part.
Okay, good.
So here's apparently her hair catching on fire. We're going to watch this. This is during the thing. So here's the setup. Miss Congo became Miss Africa in 2018 on Thursday night after competing in a beauty pageant held by the Cross River State government and beating out a number of other contestants, including runner-up Miss Nigeria, who said she was a prince and needed your money. Just kidding. I made that part up. But instead of being crowned upon the exciting announcement, 24-year-old, she's only a year older than Paul Hollywood's girlfriend. Wow.
Now we have a new flag that we've planted in the ground. That the new axis of our number line is Paul Hollywood's girlfriend's age.
Yep, there's the pivot. It says here her name is Dorcas Cassind. Dorcas. D-O-R-A-S or D-O-R-C-A-S.
Well, they have different names. We've got Jennifer's and Cindy's and Ashley's, and they have
Dorcas. Yeah, Dorcas.
Sure.
Anyway, her hair caught on fire.
By the way, Jennifer means something completely different in Congo.
Does it? It means sour milk breath in Congan.
That's what it means. Yes, exactly.
All right, I'm going to play this chat, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at this.
I shall name her Dorcas.
Oh, he's on fire. Oh, my gosh, it's hugely on fire.
I know. It is like, there's some...
People
There's
watching
some
this
major Aquanet in there, by the way.
Yeah, I guess it came from a sparkler. Oh, look at that.
I know, yeah.
Oh, dude, so flammable. Go down. Somebody... Oh. Okay, there's another angle of it. Let's see what this is. What? Okay, so Congo's the winner. There she goes. They're hugging. And then boof. And then, why is my head hot? Oh,
jeez. Oh, and then they drop the sparklers from the stage. So they just cannot hold this camera steady.
No, they can't.
And then she's walking around. Oh, there we go. And do they hopefully just pull the wig off and stomp on it?
Well, here's a wide shot.
Totally did. Yes.
Here's a wide shot where she.
That's the one I was just watching. The wide shot.
Oh yeah. What? Oh my gosh! Get a gimbal for your camera. My gosh. That's terrible. Okay, there it is on fire. It's on fire. He's not looking.
It also kind of underscores the fact that they don't put as much, gladly, thankfully, they don't put as much pomp and circumstance into the Miss Africa pageant as we do here in the Americas. There's like 8 tables of people in a Motel 6 conference room.
Yeah. That looked low rent to me. That was like Podcast Awards 2013. That's what that looked like.
Kind of was, yeah.
Yeah, Todd advanced the slide one too many and showed us the winners.
Oh, sorry. I guess that one spoils the Gizwiz is our winner.
The Jizwiz. I even got that joke wrong.
It's all right. It still worked for me. He did it like 3 times.
I wouldn't even call this a labor of love at this point.
No, you wouldn't. Oh my gosh, you do a really good Todd.
I'll take over. It'll be like Daryl Hammond taking over for Don Pardo when Don got sick on SNL.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
I'll step in and just work behind the scenes.
Who does it now? It's not still him, is it? Is it somebody else?
No, he tried to. Was trying to sell it. It didn't work out, and so he got it back.
Oh,
come on, J.K. Grammer. That's absolutely my Todd. My Ken Kratz is way like.
Okay, so we're gonna show you here with the evidence. So we have.
They're kind of close. I mean, but
the DNA reports.
They're related, but they're not. They're not in the same guys in the chat. Wait, so what happened to the Pardo thing? What'd you say? They sold it? What?
What?
I said you did. Does Daryl Hammond still do it? And he says, "Oh no, they sold it."
I thought you were talking about does dude still have the podcast awards? Like he sold. He tried to sell the. Does Todd Cochran know? So Don Pardo. I think Daryl Hammond. I think is still doing the SNL intro.
It's really funny because the way the conversation went was. I went, oh, so, and you...
so we're talking about
he goes, Daryl Hammond took over for him when he got sick, and I go, oh, does he still do it? No, he sold that.
Right. Because I thought because I was using the analogy of Don Pardo and Daryl Hammond, while the base conversation was about Todd Cochran and the podcast.
All right, a happy accident, and I enjoyed it. That was really funny.
And yes, they sold Don Pardo's body. Yes.
Oh, good for science, right, or what?
For science.
Okay.
For science. For science.
For science. We got to study that guy.
It's Saturday Night Live.
All right, I didn't know Daryl Hammond was still doing it. I thought he was. I don't know why it didn't. He was doing it. And
TVZ Gone reminds us that he is still doing it, but he's not doing the Don Pardo impression. That would be tacky since Don Pardo passed away to kind of say, can you kind of do the same intro. It's like, all right, well, we'll keep you doing it, but maybe we don't do as much Don Pardo in the.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I think it should just be him at this point.
J.K. Kramer says you should do the SNL intros as Ken Kratz.
Oh my lord, no one would watch. Everyone would tune out. Are you kidding?
It's all right, as you're going to see here. It's Saturday Night Live, starring Vanessa Bayer.
They'd have to. The band would have to get real quiet, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
They'd have to really tone it down.
The brush on the drum.
Yeah, where you going? Okay, and so. Oh my gosh, dude, that is a really good idea. A man claims to have found an anus in a $1.50. Actually, it's a pound 50. Tesco tinned beef curry. Tesco's a big chain out there in the UK.
The Kroger of the UK, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put
Tesco.
it. Support worker Andrew Lee found the grayish skin-colored tube when he was halfway through his dinner. Says it looked like a
rectum.
He says it looked like a belly button or cat's anus. Jeez.
A or B?
A or B? Cat's butt or belly button or cat's anus? You decide. But before you panic, it says here, Tesco has since claimed that the suspected anus was in fact a large blood vessel. Oh, that helps. That really helps.
That's so much better. Yes.
Thanks, guys. I feel so much better about eating your freaking curry, your beef curry.
Maybe it's the twisted tied end of a balloon.
That's not even. All of it's bad. None of this is good. It says they wanted him to return the can so they could investigate it further. Andrew, who hails from Swansea in Wales, says the mysterious object made him feel so sick that he couldn't eat for 2 days, complaining to the supermarket chain online. The 30-year-old said, quote, "It looked like a belly button or a cat's anus. I was in shock. It was the first time I've noticed something like that before. There was the beginning of a tube and then it was cut off, but there was still a bit of string on it too." What?
Ugh. This just in, by the way. Joe Rogan says that if he finishes it, he can move on to the next round.
Oh, good. The scary one where they have to jump in water.
Ask your uncle.
Yeah, ask your uncle who really enjoyed early 2000s reality TV. Yeah. Says, I don't think it's fat. It's super smooth. The texture is like silk. Someone said it could be a blood vessel.
Like a pig's anus.
Yeah, exactly. Says some people say it could be a blood vessel, but do they get that big? Then he went on to say, I'd already eaten half my dinner before I found it, and I felt sick. It's been sat on my plate. because he's British. You know, they say that in Welsh, I guess.
It's been sat on my plate.
Yep. I picked up the fork first and noticed the color was different. It was grayish skin colored. Okay, well, here's a picture. Chat room. You can enjoy this one. Why wouldn't you? There you go. There's the guy. First of all, total bearded hipster, low-hanging hair dude. And then look at that. Look at that beefy looking unit. I mean, I'd be pissed too. Look how sad he is in this photo of him. Just going, oh. Oh, I'm Andrew Lee, and I found an anus. That's what that picture says. Anyway, if you find one of those in your beef curry, also, why would you get beef curry in a can? Doesn't that sound terrible? What is that?
Yeah, you know, it does sound terrible, but I imagine there are things that we eat out of a can that probably, or that some people eat out of a can that sound completely horrible.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
Cocktail weenies or...
Chat room says it's sarlacc anus. If you eat a sarlacc anus, do you eat it for 1,000 years? Is that what happens? Yeah, how it goes. Velvet.
I don't want to, Boba Fett, I don't want to go down in there. It looks like a belly button or a pig's anus.
Yeah. And by the way, Velvet Lip, you're not allowed to chat during this story because your name is gross. I think Velvet Lip is gross. Just kidding. All right, final story here we got for you. A man is very upset about his taco sauce, and he opened fire as a result. Oh, this is great. A gunman who complained about not getting his taco sauce on early Monday morning opened fire at a fast food restaurant in southwest Oklahoma City.
Oh, jeez.
Nobody injured. It was a Taco Bell, by the way.
Okay.
Of course. Drive-through window was hit by gunfire.
And let me be clear.
Yeah.
We're saying, of course, to Taco Bell because they always forget your sauce.
Yeah.
Not because the shootings regularly
No,
happen
yeah,
there,
that's what I mean.
But because they always forget your damn sauce.
They'll even ask you, do you want the thing? Okay, cool.
Yes,
and then they won't give it to you.
And I still don't get it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's absolutely true. Let's see. Employees told police a man in a car went through the drive-thru at about 1:25 a.m. Excuse me, then pulled back around. And he could be heard outside the restaurant yelling about not getting his taco sauce with his order. He then pulled out a handgun, and fired. Employees ran back to the store, or into the back of the store, and locked themselves inside the bathroom. Well, that's a gnarly place in a Taco Bell to lock yourself.
Yeah, I'd do the freezer.
I would have as well. The man
walk-in freezer.
The man got out. Were they walk-in freezers when you worked there?
Oh, totally was. Yeah.
Could you? Is it possible to? I mean, you could hide in there, I guess, right?
Totally. Okay. I wouldn't want to hide in there for a long time, but I would. That's where I would have. That's where I'd probably go in a situation like this.
Because it's great for walking in, but the freezer part is no good for a long time, right? You don't want to.
And you've got a lot of stuff you can hit them with a big block of meat or something like that if you needed to. Whereas all you've got in the Taco Bell bathroom is some paper towels and maybe a plunger.
Yeah.
Although that could be wielded pretty well as a weapon.
Says the man got out of the car, went inside. Employees said he could be heard banging around inside the store as they hid before he left.
Plunger.
Yeah. The man is described as black, wearing a green hoodie. Well, there you go.
Better than green wearing a black hoodie.
That's true. That's true. You know, I saw a thing in Florida the other day. We didn't talk about it on the show because it was kind of been significant in terms of the result of the story. But some guy was pissed at a gas station attendant for, I can't remember what it was, overcharging for some gum or something weird like that. Mm-hmm. So this guy goes home, big white guy, goes home, gets a semi-automatic looking AR-15 looking gun. Jeez. Comes back to this thing, points it at the guy at the register, but also stands in line for 5 minutes with his gun out. Nobody does anything or says anything. When he gets up to the thing, he points at the dude, talks to him, and then leaves. Doesn't fire or shoot anybody or anything. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. If that was... I'm convinced of this. 100% convinced of this. And this isn't me virtue signaling or playing that game. I don't care about any of that. If that was a black dude with an AR-15 inside of a convenience store aiming it at the clerk, you'd probably be consoling his widow by now. Like, that's weird to me. Like, there's no way, and I don't care who you ask that question to, if they answer that question in any way other than that, what I just said, I think they're lying. Because think about it. Even I looked at it and went, oh, well, maybe he's just a registered owner and likes to carry it with him, and it's legal in Florida, so that's not that big a deal. And then my brain went, no, Scott, wait a minute. If that guy was of any other color or ethnicity, would it be the same? And the answer is no, it wouldn't be the same. Yeah. Of course it wouldn't be the same. Did he get arrested? Good. I guess they later found him, and they should. Is my point?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
yes.
I don't. Black guy with a gun like that would be probably dead, and it makes me mad.
Right.
Anyway, there's a fun thing to think about.
It's the world we live in, Scott.
We're going to take a break so that we can live in a better world. And when we come back, Wendy's here with a big-ass email that we're going to talk about, given its severity, and Wendy thinks it's a good one to hit, so we're going to hit it. Wendy will be here. That's right, Therapy Thursday, right here on the Thursday edition of TMS. Before that, though, Brian brought music, and he will now introduce it in only the way he knows how.
Well, that's exactly right, and this one comes to us as a requested Indie in the Middle from Stephanie, who says, "Hey, Slurp and Burp, I'm requesting an Indie in the Middle song for a musician that I've followed for a long time, formerly the lead singer of the rock band Number One Gun," that's some timing, Jeff Schneeweiss has been making awesome ambient-esque, that's one for you, Brian, music under the name Lyle. He's released several short albums and EPs, all of which are amazing, and I finally decided to share them with you guys. His recent single, Dust, was written after the loss of his house and belongings during the recent California fires. You can really feel the emotion in the song, but be warned, there are a couple of subtle F-bombs, but please don't let that keep you from playing this piece. I have a screenshot of him giving permission to use the song on TMS. Blah, blah, blah. You can find his stuff on YouTube or Instagram as Lael Official, and that's Lael Official. Thank you so much. So this is the song Dust off of the brand new EP Albion, which is coming out soon. It's a little more poppy than we usually play, but I think it's, it fits. It fits the wide berth of styles we've played here for Indie in the Middle. Here is Lael and Dust.
Before registering for this service, you must carefully read this agreement. To complete your registration, click on the Accept button below. Clicking the Accept button enables you to become a registered user of this service. It signifies that you agree to abide by the terms and conditions of the agreement for the duration of your service. Your use of the service is conditional upon the continued compliance with the terms. The company reserves the right to change the terms at any time by notification of the change of service. You agree that your continued use of service shall constitute your accept.
And the doctor has another patch-up job to do.
The morning stream. Computer, stop the flow of time.
We're back. By the way, that sound clip you just heard was me in like 2005.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
Like reading the...
I sped it up because I found some thing back in the day that would like, oh, this will speed my voice up. This will be fun. So that's totally me. Here, I'll play a tiny taste. See if you can recognize it.
And the doctor
Whoops,
has
that's
another...
not it. This one.
Before registering for this service, you must carefully read this agreement. To complete your registration, click on the Accept button below. Clicking the Accept button enables you to become a registered user of this.
You can kind of hear it.
I totally can now that you say it.
Yeah.
So is this a this wasn't for the dating site, was
No,
it?
no. It was like just me thinking I was being funny. In fact, the fart at the end was part of it. Hold on,
You agree that your continued use of service shall constitute your accept.
That's part of the file.
Oh, that's so good.
Anyway, there's that. That's a good time. All right, Wendy time, everybody. Wendy time. As you know, my sister Wendy comes on the show. We talk about a little helping people.
Yeah. Whew, hope you can tuck in and read this whole thing.
Yeah, it's a beast.
It is a beast.
But I'll do it. It's fine.
It's for the show, Scott. You'll do it for the show.
I'll do it for the show. I'll do it for the lulls.
You got to read it in the same speed that we just heard that clip to.
Oh, is that the rule? Okay, I think I can do that. We're adding her, and I don't see her yet, so I'm gonna save the show for a second.
Cool.
She sometimes isn't on right when we call, but that's all right.
Right.
Let's see.
Well, if you're recording, I could ask you if you've heard about the people who are taking the Twitter Bird Box Challenge and injuring themselves stupidly. I was gonna say severely, but I don't think any of them have been severe.
What? Walking around with
walking around with a blindfold on.
Oh, jeez, really?
Taking the quote-unquote Bird Box Challenge.
Why? What is this about? Why? I mean, I'm watching the movie. I'm not quite done with it.
Yeah.
I need to finish it today sometime, but I really like it. But come on, you guys. Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you do the other one? Do the Quiet Place one and just don't talk all day.
That'd be a much better one. Or do the Bandersnatch challenge and make decisions all day.
Yeah, just make the good decisions in your life. One of them not being walking around with a freaking...
Like you're on a blindfold? Yeah.
Are people really doing that?
Yes.
I have to look this up. Hold on.
People are dumb and getting dumber.
Box.
This is ugly when you're alone.
I'm really annoyed by this. Bird Box boast could open Pandora's box for Netflix.
No, it's a different thing.
Netflix warns against Bird Box challenges. Dangerous trend goes viral. Oh, it's the same. It's actually the same thing. It's the same kind of article. It's just CNN's headline is stupid. It makes it seem like something else.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Netflix warns against Bird Box challenges. Dangerous trend goes viral. Popular YouTube creator Morgan Adams helped kick it off. Oh, really? A jackass YouTuber got this going? That's shocking to me.
What do you know?
Can't imagine that is a thing.
How about that?
People are jumping out of moving cars is another thing that's going on.
That was the Drake dance challenge or something, or the there was a dance challenge that was that one was from, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, should Netflix have to do this? But
No.
do
No.
a disclaimer and go, hey, you should.
Oh, for sure, no. Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
Heavens to Betsy, no.
I'm annoyed by that in a major way. All right, we'll call her again. She's not picking up. There we go. Maybe this will work this time. Right. Let's see if that goes through. Do. Well, it's ringing. She no answer me though.
Well, JC Calhoun says, "Oh, this is link bait garbage. One person did it. The Netflix issued a press release, and everyone was talking about it." I've seen at least 4 videos on the news today of different people. One with small children who was doing it and
yeah, it's more than just
banging
one.
their kids into walls.
It's more than one.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. Wendy, you there? No? Weird. Okay, let me text her. Hi.
Okay.
Coming? All right, we'll figure that out. And then, whilst I... Oh, interesting.
Chat room, I love you guys.
What'd they do?
Isn't that the reason you have kids? So you can bang them into walls after watching a Netflix show.
Who says that?
TP Andrew or TP and Drew.
TP and Drew?
TP and Drew.
TP and Drew. TP and Drew. All right, we're going to put this right here. We're going to stretch that.
JK Grammar, I did see the premiere of The Orville, and I'm hoping that I like those episodes where there's something kind of, continuing the story, like a part of the lore of the story going on. But I like that to be a B story and the A story be something far more interesting than just the relationship between
I could see that.
Seth MacFarlane and Friday Night Lights girl.
Okay, she says nearly ready. You? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
You?
It's after.
I love that it's how about you? Are you ready?
Yeah, she's. I think she forgets that the show is going on before she comes on. Sometimes
that's funny
because she doesn't listen.
Her New Year's week has been about the same as all of our New Year's weeks.
Kind of, yeah. All right, let's see if this functions as designed.
Yeah, it looks like from the coming next week on the Orville, it looks like it'll be back to their normal alien problem of the week, which is good.
Is that
you still haven't caught up on Orville, have you?
No, I suck, dude.
What's the matter with you?
I know, I suck.
After Bird Box.
Okay, Bird Box, and then that. That's my commitment.
And then catch up on the Orville. You're going to love it. It's going to be like, this isn't quite Star Trek The Next Generation, but it's enough of it that it feels like it fills that missing void from the lack of Star Trek The Next Generation in my life.
All right. Well, I'll get to it. I mean, I kind of liked what I saw. What's this? Scott, in the meantime, what replacement TV series services would you recommend for a house about to cut the cord? Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. It's pretty much all you need.
Yeah, I would even throw...
occasionally HBO if you like HBO stuff, I guess.
And I would throw DirecTV Now as an option if there's stuff that you want that isn't in those other ones. Go terrestrial for your antenna, But if you still need something that's like A&E or something that's not going to be on Hulu or Netflix, then
Yeah.
that would be the service that I'd recommend.
Yeah.
Because it's got your AMC and it's got your Walking Dead.
And at that level, you're spending less money than you would for your cable. Typically.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yes.
I mean, and I pulled out in like 07. I've been doing this for like 9-10 years.
Right.
And I don't miss it ever.
Yeah.
I've never missed it. She says she's ready, and I don't know why she's not picking up. It's ringing. Discord, right? She's got her new computer, so maybe things are weird. We try that again. Sorry, chat. This is the fun of being here live. You get all this sausage is made business.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Ohio.
Hold on. I gotta start the thing up. Ah, there it is. Hey ho, it's Wendy, everybody. Wendy, my sister. Hey, I was looking this morning. Kim and I were talking about where you live, and I went, I wonder if it's as cold there as it is here. It should be, because they're known for their snow and their awful winters and everything. So I went and looked it up. You're the same as us right now. Like the same.
You're having a weird... We're also having a warm winter. You're having a cold one.
Yeah, which in the end means that we're the same. Like 32 degrees high, a low of like 9 last night or something. It's usually not that cold here this time of year. Or as much. Not nearly this frigid. It's usually, I mean, I don't know. End of January, part of February, things get a little nuts, but... Definitely having a cold one. I just thought you guys would already be like Fargo, you know? Just covered in snow and everybody's barely getting anywhere and the icy roads and all that. But no, you guys are fine. Just fine. Yeah.
It's weird because I also have this like, this isn't bad. What are y'all complaining about? And it's probably because it's a weird year, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely not Fargo. I mean, we lived in Vermont. That place was frigid.
Yeah.
Oh, -20 most days. I mean, it was crazy.
Really?
This was nothing like that.
That doesn't sound
Nothing
like fun at all to me. It sounds like a miserable time.
It's great. I like it.
Well, good. Well, Wendy, it's good to have you here. Wendy's my sister, of course. Last week we had a bit of a short show given weird internet outages all over the country, it turned out, but we were directly affected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it turned out to be that problem you're having with one of your clients, probably related. With the internet going out. Brian had problems that day. A whole bunch of ISPs got affected. It was really bad. And Brian, who caused it? Did we figure out?
It was like, well, it was CenturyLink and Cox and Comcast. Like, it was across the board, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Somebody said that it was somebody getting hacked, like one of those services or a couple of those services getting hacked, but I don't know if that was just...
that wouldn't surprise me. It happens.
Just alarmist.
Could be. DDoS attacks, who knows, something weird, but as a result, everything got weird. So now what we're hoping is, normal Thursday, got a real problem to talk about, gonna talk about it, see if we can help somebody with it, because Wendy's a real therapist. She's been doing this since we launched the show in 2011. She comes on Thursdays and offers to help people with real problems. Normally, you'd have to pay for this sort of thing, but not today, because...
Nah, it's free, but also I have a really bad cold and cough. So if I am talking and then I pause for a minute and just jump in, because that means I'm having a spaz cough attack.
You don't sound bad at the moment.
Really?
No.
I sound like this normally?
Yeah.
Jeez,
You just, it's a real weird thing. Hey, chat room, here's a picture of Wendy with my girls. When I was gonna show them
don't be showing those.
No, this is cute. This is cute. This is when my kids were like, I don't know, what were they? Taylor is probably 10, Carter's like 8, and you're, I don't know what you were. But there you are, hanging out with my kids. Aw, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah, I have to show those pictures.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's get to it. We got an email. This was given to me by you, and I'm going to read it. It's kind of a monster, but I'm going to read it anyway. So are you ready for this? Here goes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Scott, Wendy, and Brian. I have been going back and forth about if I wanted to bring this topic to you and then how to do it for several months now. The therapy segment normally falls between or during Prime meeting and WebEx time at work. So my compromise is to write down as much as I can and tell you, and let you cherry pick what parts you see fit to use, if any. So here's the details. I am 32. My wife is 29. Definitely not Paul Hollywood, right, Brian?
That's right.
Sorry, thing from earlier. We have been together for over 3 years and married for almost a year and a half. I was diagnosed with ADD almost 5 years ago, so when the feedback loop below gets going, it's really what feeds into it. My wife has PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I assume you're familiar with what this is? I have no idea what that is. Wendy, is that a thing?
Yeah, sorry, I was muting so I could cough. Yes, I do.
Okay. The cause
Any woman who has lived more than
do y'all get cysts? Y'all get cysts, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Well, it's possible you have them, you don't know, and they have no impact on you. You don't. It's not like very clear, but there are people when they have this particular syndrome, it's very obvious.
Wendy Wendy has one ovary and a mad ball, right?
Yeah, I got the mad ball taken out. It's
no
right. Longer
right. The mad ball was taken out. Took it back to Toys R Us. Got your money back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
All right, let's see. The cause of the syndrome is unknown, but what it boils down to is it's a hormone imbalance that affects many things within her body. Things that typically accompany the syndrome are added weight gain, difficulty losing weight, increased body hair through increased testosterone production, acne, and infertility. It's the last thing that is most distressing right now. Those all sound distressing in their own way. Let's see. The last 4 cycles, can't really say months because the cycle lengths have been wonky. She has been on Femera. I swear I've heard commercials for this. Probably have.
Probably.
Ask your doctor if Femera is right for you.
Include
the Pontiac Femera. All right. Anyway, it hasn't seemed to help. This morning she started another round of Femera, the 5th and 6th cycles. We are doing this with the medication. Next up would be Clomid, followed by an evaluation of our next set of options. I'm a product designer by my nature. I live and breathe data and numbers. A year ago, we invested in a fertility tracking bracelet, AVA fertility tracker, if you're curious about what I'm talking about. That's something people can look up. We have 350 plus data points for me to pour over to mix, match, chart, graph, line up, and pull apart. I cannot make heads or tails of any of it. The doctor's office is treating this like medication would bring her right in line with a 28-day cycle, and I do not see how that's even remotely possible. A normal cycle is a dance of 4 hormones, and I don't see how yanking around one of them is going to bring the rest of them magically in line. I have looked for information for spouses and PCOS, or the condition she has. The only PCOS, I guess I could say, it's not PCOS. The only real rule they seem to have is to be caring and understanding, and to me that is the absolute baseline that I show everyone. I can find nothing on how others have dealt with their own unease, about how I cannot make sense out of any of their data, or her data, about how every cycle I worry just a little bit more I won't be able to do everything for my kids that I would like to do. Even though I am fitter than a lot of folks, the worry is still there. How will it be in 5 years or 10? On top of all of that, it seems like everyone I know is already having kids and has for a while or is currently expecting. The most frustrating one is my groomsman. He isn't against the idea of being a dad as a woman. He isn't against the idea of being a dad, as the woman he is marrying in January already has an 8 to 9-year-old son, but they are now expecting another together in the early part of next year, and he seems to think it's okay to complain to me about it. Oh, that's the best when your best friends do this. About the uncertainty he is feeling, how about how things aren't going to change? And while I can sympathize with him feeling that way, I cannot find it within myself to empathize. Thankfully, he lives in Arizona, and I live in Michigan, because all I can do is return reassuring messages and quietly clean the teardrops from my keyboard. This guy's getting dramatic. I like it. And although I talk to my wife about everything, there is no way I am addressing these concerns with her. She already feels guilty about the situation, and none of it is within her control. The extra weight, the wild fluctuation of libido, the fertility issues, none of it. To discuss it with her would run counter to the caring and understanding. So, I guess my question is, what do you recommend for practicing self-care? I'm taking myself off the proverbial ledge, and I am when I find my mind racing, why can't I read that? Ledge, and I find my racing mind running all the counterproductive thoughts all at the same time. Do you have any questions or would like me to clarify anything? Please let me know. I will do my best to at least be in the live stream, like I said at the top. Work things come first. Let's see. Okay. With how I feel about this right now, if my questions can help one person feel a bit better about their own fertility journey, then pouring myself into this would have been worth it. If you decide to use this for your segment, my real name is attached to the email. However, I'd appreciate if you would refer to me as Hazeltine.
Hazeltine.
Hazeltine?
Hazeltine.
All right. They
like
used to
Ovaltine.
they give you a decoder ring and all that.
Sure, exactly.
Which is his Twitch ID. Anyway, with reverence and trepidation, that guy. All right, Wendy.
Hazeltine.
Hazeltine. I almost said the name. Because it's down there on the email.
Should I go in there and delete that real quick? Just
get rid of that name. All right, complicated stuff, kind of all over the place. Maybe that's some of the ADD coming out. I don't know. But obviously you got some concerns and some worries, and it sounds like she's in a bad place. So it also sounds kind of urgent, which is why we put it in here today. So what do you think, Wendy?
Yeah, first of all, it's so hard. Fertility stuff is so hard.
Yeah.
So of all of my clients I've ever worked with, those that are struggling with fertility issues, I feel like they're almost the hardest to reach. Because even though I have had my own share, I've had a lot of crazy crap happen to me in that department, I'm done and I don't care about that stuff anymore. And so I've left that realm. So I can't quite remember it in the urgency, the panic, all of the anxiety and frustration that comes with it. And so even though in theory I'm maybe a little better qualified than someone who's never had any problems in their life in regard to that arena, but it is really truly one of the most daunting things to go through. And there's a bunch of reasons why. First of all, he's a researcher, an analyzer. Let me look at the data. He is asking for something modern medicine cannot provide him. And so it's adding to the frustration. So you take somebody who doesn't know any of that and would not gather all the data and look at any of the stuff, they're going to have similar emotional experiences. But his has been ramped up to a level that only comes from knowing enough to hurt yourself. Does that make sense? So I'll give you a brief example, just my own experience. I had a lot of miscarriages. I went in to see this guy who was in Utah. He was hilarious, by the way. He had like a gold chain and like a hair sticking out of his shirt.
Nice.
Anyway, he was funny.
Yeah.
And he was from, I forgot somewhere, but he was definitely not a born and bred Utah guy. And I go in and he is the world's expert on early miscarriages because all my miscarriages happened between 12 and 16 weeks.
Yeah.
And he is it. People from the whole world call him to find out what to do because he is the guy. And so we get talking and he was hilarious and now I'm remembering how funny the guy was. Anyway, as we get talking, he says to me, okay, you seem like someone I can tell the truth to. And I was like, well, what does that even mean? Are you lying to everyone else? And he's like, no, but most people they're not emotionally in a place where I can tell them straight out the truth. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm good. Tell me.
Yeah.
And he says, we have no idea. He says, what your mom experienced, because mom obviously had a lot as well. What your mom experienced 30 years ago, we know barely anything else. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's frustrating.
Because listen, we've been watching a lot of TV in the last 30 years and we know that you guys can do things and it's not true. Like the miracle that is the beginning of human life they know a bunch of stuff, but they absolutely cannot control it. And PCOS is a terrible condition because there's so many other things going on other than just like, I can't get pregnant. You have all sorts of side effects, painful. I mean, he listed all of them. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So she's suffering, obviously. And then they're saying, okay, we're going to try to treat this and we're going to do these particular things. It's stuff they think they know. It sometimes works. I'm sure someone who's an OB's listening and going, whatever, we know. And it's like, no, you know, but you also cannot solve it in the way this guy is needing it to be solved, which is the numbers should add up, the math, the science, everything should be already clear.
Yeah.
And it just isn't. And I don't know when it will be. I mean, I think, 500 years from now, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. But that is the thing I want to actually focus on. So really hard, but it's what he's bringing to the table. And I think he kind of acknowledges this, that is making this so much more difficult, is that he knows enough. And it's like his superpowers he's bringing to the table, but there is no way to satisfy them. Having all the data, all the numbers, all the things they're telling you is going to work. And they're going to be calm and naive. Have you been in an ER in any time recently where you're dying? You really think, like, an alien's coming out of my stomach. Help me, help me. And everyone is so calm. They're almost sleepy.
I remember this feeling when Kim was in the throes of labor. It's a weird thing, weird dichotomy. She's in huge pain, and everyone else is just business as usual and walking around and talking about the game and whatever. It's very weird.
I mean, it is the way to calm you down. If you feel like they're all being calm and that this is routine and that everybody can handle this, I guess you'd freak out more if they were freaking out as well.
Yeah, completely. Especially people who have seen it all. You do not want those ones. Right. If they're panicking, okay, the world is ending. So there's a little of that happening where the people who are the helpers in this story are going to just be saying to him, well, this is how it works, and this is what we do, and will not match his level because they're not in it. You know, and it isn't till you have this experience yourself that you can really empathize with that amount of pain. Now, he's doing something that is just real life because you have friends and you're online and you're connected to other human beings. There's going to be some 20-year-old, 15-year-old, whoever-year-old who doesn't want to get pregnant that gets pregnant. There are people getting abortions because they don't want to be pregnant. Like you can surround yourself with how easy this is for somebody else, right? And that's dangerous. In the case of his groomsmen, like the guy clearly is not recognizing that him sharing his feelings is painful. And that's just like being a little tone deaf there on his friend's part. Sure. But there's a bit of like, in this situation, you have to protect yourself. In fact, I think there's a section of years, and these guys are in the throe of it, where we're trying to have children. And, you know, for those that are, it's easy. They're just out there. They're going to post a bunch of dumb selfies of their belly, and they're going to complain about being sleep deprived when that baby's born, right? Those people need their own support and the things they're going through. So that's the way they're going to do it. But in your case, emailer, you've got to find a tribe that gets this. And you say, I don't see any support out there. There's so much support out there. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to find it. I would say probably there's got to be groups, PCOS sufferers alone, and partners of PCOS sufferers. Maybe they're not writing, and that's your new gig, is to start it or something. But there are plenty of partners who have this same sense of powerlessness. I mean, you guys, your wives gave birth. That's a pretty powerless moment. Sure. Maybe there was no emergency that you got to feel the full weight of that powerlessness. But, you know, being a partner of someone who, because in the end, it's her body that has to do all of this.
Right.
Which sucks. I wish we could switch sometimes, right? But so to be the observer, he's going to help in the ways he knows how, which is I'm going to search the data. I'm going to find all the, and in the end, he can't do it. He can only do so much, right? And that self-care somewhere in there is, I think, really what he's asking about. So we can get specific about that. But throw out, guys, what do you suggest for him to do? You've been helpless with wives before. What's your thinking?
But never, well, it's funny. I was going to say, but never in a situation like this, but I guess I have. I mean, when Tina was going through breast cancer a couple of years ago, boy, I totally felt helpless. It just feels like there was so much more information about what we do at every step of the way with that than there is from what it seems like for Hazeltine here. Like, it seems like they're calm, which is good, but they're also not giving him enough information and support to say, all right, well, here's our next step. And maybe it's just they need to change doctors or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I knew Brian would have some insight on this because he went through that particular patch, right? That's a rough piece of business. Maybe,
maybe we were lucky in the support that we got for the situation. It didn't hurt that my dad is who he is or who he was at the MD Anderson Cancer Center down in Houston. So that probably helped things quite a bit. But
sure. See, and I haven't had one of these yet. All the big, stupid, dumb hangups that we end up having in the Johnson household are all me. So it's never like I'm not prepared for the one that hits Kim, whatever it ends up being. If there is ever anything, you
still are feeling helpless though. Like when you get a diverticulitis flare up or something like that, you get
Oh yeah, for me, yeah. But then again, it's about me. It's not me trying to. Commiserate with Kim. Like this, that's the difference here. Is he's got this situation where he's trying to be caring, helpful, do all the right stuff, whatever for her. And if I understand Wendy's question correctly, what have we done to during those times? Well, Brian going through their big cancer scare is a perfect example of that, and how he had to take on a kind of a new role in addition to what his roles of support already were. I haven't had to do that for Kim yet because she's just weird in the sense that there's never any kind of weird breakdowns around here. It's usually me is what I'm saying. It's usually me with some big mistake or some dumb thing, or when I was sick a few years ago, all the time, it was on her to have to figure out how to deal with it. Right.
Right.
So
could you go get Kim and we'll ask her?
I mean, she honestly is the only one that would really know the answer to this question. Now, all of that being said, I've always thought of myself as a pretty empathetic person, and I can tell when people need help, and I will help them. And I'm not somebody who doesn't catch those cues or those signals or whatever. But in his in our emailer situation, I've never been in that situation. I don't know what that's like. Really, other than me perpetuating my own thing on Kim. You're right. It's a question for Kim, is what it is.
Right. Well, and something you said made me think about this, and we should really, really emphasize to the emailer that you are a good guy. This is an email from such a good guy.
Yeah.
Who cares and wants to do so. All that energy and those intentions are from a place of love, and that is amazing and huge and award winning, right? That at its foundation is really important. Your wife is very lucky to have you. And then how we translate all of that love and affection and attention and energy to be most helpful to her in the process is a good question. And maybe the ADD throws this a little scawampus when your mind will jump to this or that and hyper focus on a particular thing and go down rabbit holes to figure out certain things. You can sort of and I think this is true of anyone when they're dealing with any kind of illness or something that's new, is that one way of feeling control is to get as much information as possible. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is there is no solution at the end of all of that information that makes everything feel better. But this gets to this point of, generally, as a general rule, men in our society have not been given sort of the support that they deserve in these moments. Because, let's go back in the day when my mother was having tons of miscarriages. She was told she didn't get to see the baby, the one that was 8 months old.
Yeah.
That when she was 8 months pregnant or 7 months pregnant.
Yeah, she went full term.
And she just knows it was a girl.
Yeah.
And that her ankle was broken. That's the extent of what we know. There was no burial. There was no grieving. And the attitude was sort of well, it wasn't alive, or, move on with yourself. So that's the amount of grieving women were allowed was in, 1960s. And today you can have a 2-day miscarriage and there's a support group for you. And there is all sorts of resources. It's amazing. But I'm not sure what is out there for men that is the equivalent. Are we 1960 for men's support? And I would assume there's various places, but take your wife has breast cancer. There's so much information and people and races and, everyone can gather around you. But Brian, was there anything specific to men? Hey, men, here's this group for you when your wife is going through this.
There was. I didn't take advantage of it, but there were cancer support groups for the supporter.
Okay.
As opposed to the person going through it. I didn't feel like I need it. It felt like, oh, you know what? I've got this. I can be there for her. I can, always be available to help her with whatever she needs, just to be there. If she just needs me to be there, go with her to chemo, go, with her to doctor's appointments, things like that. And I never felt like I was losing myself in all this, or that I wasn't getting, that it was more than I could handle. It always felt like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I signed up for.
Right. It was almost clear how the path and the outcome. The outcome, of course, we all want the best for the outcome, and the outcome's the question. And in their case, of course, everybody wants the best, but the outcome is always the question. Every second of what they're doing, how her cycle works. And the problem too with this, I mean, in cancer, I can't speak to that. I don't know, but I'm not sure you're getting your blood levels tested every single day. Whereas fertility, there is something every single day to do, to think about, you know, whether you're giving yourself shots or whether you're checking this level or that level, or, you know, and it depends on what kinds of things you're doing. But, and then you're taking, like, so Clomid, she's going to take Clomid, and Clomid releases a bunch of eggs at once. So you have this weird thing of like, I want to get pregnant so bad, but then you just released 9 eggs. Are we going to have quintuplets? Or look how good I am with math. But you know what I mean? Like this whole, like it is a constant, and then a period suddenly starts and it's devastating. Like a thing that, like there, it just is so all encompassing. So it's really hard to say, hey, you know, I'm going to carve out some time for me to self-care by attending this group, because you're not the person panicking every time they go to the bathroom to see if their period has started, or, you know, like your support, but you also, this is your kid, your hope for your family. I mean, he's expressed a lot of his fears. One being, I'm going to be an old dad. Can I still do the things, you know, he's got a lot of stories about how this is supposed to work that are getting crashed into, right? Like we typically have a plan for our lives, and we do this, and we have our kids here, and then we do that. And then to have this thing that seems so easy for everyone else, even though it is not, it just seems that way, is really, really difficult. It can sort of go haywire in your brain of all the things you can do. And it's about grieving, right? Like you have to grieve the normal route. You're not on the normal route. And that is really hard for anybody. And I think cancer has that same role to play in people's lives. It's like, I just move along and live my life. I'm not supposed to stop in the middle here and be sick and, you know, have it hinder my career, or, you know, all those various things that occur. So the men's, I don't know this, maybe Scott, Google real quick, PCOS men's group, men's support, or infertility men's support. I didn't have a chance to do this. But
there has to be. Yeah, you know, maybe not specific to PCOS, but for sure there's got to be a men infertility support group.
Oh, I found it. Right, supporting a wife or partner with PCOS.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. PCOS for husbands and partners. Well, I can't tell if these are groups, though. These are more just internet forums. But there's forums and stuff.
Right.
So who knows? There's probably some kind of support group, though. Yeah, there always is, right?
Right. And so I knew that would exist in some form, but, you know, finding what fits you can always be a little bit tricky. So that is one piece for him so I can't talk to my wife about this. The burden is already on her for all of these things. I need to get it out somewhere. If I can't call my buddy in Arizona because he's going to complain about having a pregnant wife, then I've got to find another way to express this stuff and feel safe and supported. So that's one piece. And then the other one is this, I mean, the most, you know, you guys know about the placebo effect. It's like one of the most like effective medical tools we have.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Totally.
There is something about fertility, and we can't quite pin it down to just stress, but when people stop trying to get pregnant, there is a chance you'll get pregnant, right? Like you put in your papers for adoption, you get pregnant or whatever, right? So, and it isn't, I'm not saying stop wanting it and, you know, go adopt, but there is some value there, and we can document that, but there is some value there that's probably related to relaxing, letting go of something, but sort of thinking of, it gives it maybe a natural form of self-care, of de-stressing. So this first piece, support, get it out, get support. The second piece being making sure the rest of your life is still okay. Giving energy to other things you love. Having it take all of you all the time is where we're going to get in trouble. And it sounds like he's feeling that sort of exhausted, you know, sort of running to the end of his rope. And my assumption is he obviously values his job and is committed to that. You can tell from the email. And so that's great. But is there other parts of his life he's neglecting? I don't even know if neglecting is the right word, but just all of his energy goes to figuring out this data, figuring out this puzzle, this mystery, because that seems to be the only thing I've ever seen with fertility, sort of anecdotally anyway, is that the level of intensity and stress and long-term, it wears people out.
Yeah.
And so it just doesn't seem to work. And so some self-care and support are honestly the only two things he has any control over. And they may feel self-indulgent to some extent, right? Like, well, here she is over here in pain and as doing all this stuff, and I'm going to go to a group so I can feel good. Well, actually, it's a way to serve her as well. So there's kind of a balance there. I mean, an individual therapist might not be a bad idea to just start this process. There are people who specialize in fertility, and they definitely should, because it is a special set of situations and circumstances that, truly are like, so I'll be working with somebody and then they start having infertility issues, and I feel like it ups the game by 1,000. Like, it's a big deal, and he needs to take that seriously. And
right.
So that's maybe worth a look too.
Yeah. It's also clearly consuming, like both time and mental and everything else. And I mean, again, it's hard for me to relate to this, but I just thought of one where I could. Every time Kim had a baby, when we tried for the next one, she had a miscarriage. It was like just a pattern. So Taylor was born, 3 years later, miscarriage. A couple months later, pregnant, that one stuck, Carter. So there you go. And then same thing after Carter, miscarriage. And then the next one stuck, there you got Nick. And that's when we said, that's it. Close the garage door, we're done, right? So during those times, she would just be kind of a mess. And a lot of it's just hormonal, right? Like, your hormones are just jacked when you go through that sort of experience. And I'm in a position of not really truly understanding what she's feeling or trying as hard as I can to be. And I remember that being really hard. I can only imagine, and that was a very temporary thing. I can only imagine what this must be constantly. Constantly thinking about it. Constantly,
and there's no baby in the other room.
Right.
We did it once. At least we have. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really hard. Well,
actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's one, like, to some extent, you kind of need to bubble wrap yourself, because you're going to have people in your life say they get you when they don't, and that's why seeking out your own people to get you can be very valuable, because someone will say, oh yeah, we had a bunch of miscarriages. Like, I had a bunch of miscarriages. That is not the same thing as this.
No.
And so to acknowledge, people, when they really they don't get it, that's helpful. But I have 4 kids. Like, there's no way that's going to feel good to hear anything. What the hell did I have 4 anyway? Yeah. Right? Like, do you want 2? And that's not funny to them. They're like, yes, I want 2. I want all 4. Give them to me. Because you're in a space where it feels like everyone has and you don't. And you're not going to the mall and seeing all the people with fertility issues, shopping. You're seeing every pregnant, stupid idiot who doesn't even notice that or these shows that their people are pregnant, they don't know they're pregnant, right? Like it's a world full of your nightmare.
Yeah. And you start seeing those more. It's like seeing the other lanes go faster in the grocery store. That always happens.
Completely.
Yeah.
So to find a way to center yourself and get the real support that's helpful, and then kind of bubble wrap yourself from some of that. So stay away from certain TV programs or certain Twitter people, because I'm going to tell you right now, I could find you 4 billion memes for moms with little kids because they're suffering. It's hard. They're depressed, and it's funny. And that would be the most painful thing for them to look at. But those moms need that. And then they need so like, find segregate yourself just enough so that you can protect yourself during this time, because it's just such a raw, fragile experience. And
I would also specifically avoid the Bird Box on Netflix, because there is very harrowing sort of children are in danger sort of moments, not in any sort of awful violent way, but I'll bet that thing is a hard trigger for people dealing with like kid stuff. I would do not watch the Bird Box.
Yeah.
Or if you like birds, don't watch it if you like birds
or boxes.
Or boxes. Sure.
Well, and really quick, one last thing with his friend. I mean, if he's your groomsman, he's your buddy, you've known him a long time, you know, you might want to tell him, like, hey, right now, I can't hear this stuff.
Right.
So I'm sorry. Like when we talk, like, I don't want to lose you. But I need to say this boundary because it's drawing a wedge between us and I know you don't mean it. And that guy's going to be like, oh my gosh, dude, I did not mean to. Cause he's not thinking that.
Right.
He's thinking, well, you're trying to get pregnant and I'm dealing with this hangry pregnant lady, you know, you don't know how sensitive until you've been in it.
Yep.
So maybe just talk to him.
Yep. I agree. Let us know how it goes. We're curious about how it all pans out for you. And we obviously, as always, hope for the best. Wendy, anything going on you want to, I don't know, not pimp is such a gnarly word. Do you have anything you want to promote?
It is a gnarly word.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm pimp free so far. 2019.
You have a pimp you want to promote?
Yeah.
I want to hear what you guys have planned for 2019. What are your goals? What are you doing? What are you working on? Come on,
This is so homeworky. I don't know. Make cool stuff and grow stuff and you know, there's going to be a little baby in the world again come February, and that's freaking me out. So I'm trying to get my head around that and be here for Tay.
Call her, please, or email her. Stop listening.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What about a baby?
Yeah, and then sorry. So that's all, coming, and I've got my own little weenie issues about, what that means and what kind of granddad I want to be and all that.
Could somebody have recorded that and cut off so it just says I have my own weenie issues?
Jamie is already, he's already done it.
I guarantee it's done. It was done 5 minutes before I said it.
And please save it and give it to me.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
She has no clips of me. I have all the clips of her. And that's the way it should be. Older brothers are jerks that way. What else? That's it, I guess. I hope. Oh yeah, Brian, what's your big goals?
I'm going to be working on my own weenie issues. Losing weight, doing better at work. The better balance of the freelance stuff and the podcasting stuff, and making sure I'm able to get both of those things done. And and just doing better with my finances and stuff too.
Yeah, it's not like we don't have anything major, but they're good little life tweaks.
They're totally, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to eat more kimchi.
Important little life tweaks.
More kimchi. Yeah, that's my goal.
More kimchi. That'll go right through you. Good idea.
Oknan made the best homemade kimchi, and yesterday I had a steak that I just covered in homemade kimchi, and it was amazing. Amazing. When we were growing up around it, all we thought was it smelled bad and Matt was weird. But I'm telling you, that stuff is the bomb now. It's so good. Oh, and Wendy, I talked about it on the show the other day, and I meant to tell you about it off air, but I'll just tell you now. So Tara and Kai were here all through New Year's, and for about a week. And when we had them over, Kai had this idea and I know it's not the newest idea. There's a lot of people did it, but had this idea to synchronize the starting of us watching Infinity War Part 1, the Avengers movie, right on time, so that when we got to the scene where Thanos snaps his fingers, I assume you've seen it, right? You've taken your kids. Okay. The very moment he snaps his fingers, it strikes midnight in the Mountain Time Zone, and he nailed it. He got it right on the thing. And so then none of his friends would believe him. And so I gave him video, because I took video of it. Here, send this, he'll prove it. So he sends it to them. He says, he's white. He's not your uncle. Like, what kind of friends don't believe anything you say? The kid's Korean, so...
You got this guy off the internet, just some random...
They just wouldn't believe him. It was the weirdest thing. Kids, man. I don't know what's going on with him, but anyway...
Everyone has a white uncle.
I know, I don't understand. Everyone has a creepy white uncle. Why can't I be a creepy white uncle?
Yeah, you are one.
Oh, great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. All right, well, say hi to my creepy niece and nephews, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay. There she goes. That's the end of that. And that's the beginning of this, which is an email from a listener. I'm going to read this if you'd like, Brian. Would you like me to read it?
I love it. I'm on pins and needles.
Gabriel Cohen wrote in. Gabrielle, I think is
Gabrielle.
It's a feminine version of that. Subject is Mary Poppins, and the email says this: Hey guys, the Mary Poppins came out, or the original Mary Poppins came out in 1934, and the sequel, Mary Poppins Comes Back, came out the next year. So I'm assuming this second movie, the book. Sorry, should have mentioned that. I assume the second movie is just a version of the second books. My son and I read Mary Poppins a few years ago, read Mary Poppins a few years ago, and at the time we realized that there were actually 8 books about her. She does not look at or compliment herself through the books.
Yeah, she does always look at. And
what did I put? What did I say? Doesn't always?
You said she does not look at. You said the exact opposite.
How did I read that? Okay, she does.
Dear Wendy, my co-host.
I can't freaking read. All right, she does always look at and compliment herself throughout the books. And although the kids adore her, she is very strict and almost cruel sometimes. You find out throughout the serious, I think she means series, that she is actually supernatural and may even be an actual star from the sky.
Oh,
it's all
weird.
very surreal.
Okay.
Love the show, Gabby. All right, so I love this email because it's informative, but also I listened to an interview with Emily Blunt yesterday on Fresh Air where she talked about her role, and she went and read a whole bunch of the books and decided to base the character more on the character in the books than Julie Andrews did in the 60s. So she is a little more stern. She is a little more mysterious, I guess. Like all that stuff that supposedly is in the book. But I don't know. I have no idea if the movie itself adheres to the second movie or second book in the series. I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, was it Liam O'Brien who texted the two of us and said, in the books she's totally a vain dominatrix warlock or something like that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Liam had all this background about her.
Yeah,
that surprised me. I don't. Liam, he listens. Liam, what do you? What? How do you know this? He didn't really tell us how he knew all this, did he? Maybe he did. But anyway, he knows a lot of stuff, and we love him for it.
Does.
Oh, hi, honey.
Yep.
Oh, are you taking my trash? I need to destroy all those discs first, because they have data on them. The look you just gave me. You should have seen the look.
Just get a bottle of maple syrup and just pour it all in there.
That's how to do it, because no one will want to get in there. Yeah, that's exactly. Not a bad idea. Just gross it up.
Right.
Well,
and if somebody pulls one of those discs out of there, they're not going to be like, all right, let me go ahead and just stick this in my laptop my disk drive.
Exactly. But, honey, why'd you make that face? Because I'm not going to do that. What? Oh, no, I know you're not. I'm going to do it. You don't have to do it. No, I know, but I have to destroy them because they have data that people could do identity theft with. She is not in the mood for me today at all. I don't know what's going on. She's like, bip, bap, boom, out the door.
She's late for her Scott Johnson support group where it's.
Well, she'll come home later, or we'll do skim later, and we'll find out what's kicking her cheese around. So, nice. Look forward to that. All right, that's it. If you'd like to send in your own emails, you can. themorningstream@gmail.com. If you're looking for everything else to do with the show, frogpants.com/TMS. And most importantly, as we enter the new year, continue your support or add it over there to patreon.com/TMS. That's patreon.com/TMS. We will now exit the building with a song playing over the airwaves. Brian will play it and tell us what it is.
Oh, that's right, Scott. Nathaniel wrote in Dirtbox Fingers in the chat saying, hi, Swaz and Bifter. I turned 26 on the 18th of December. Oh, the reason this one's late is that I sort these things so that I know, what days to run them on, obviously.
Right.
He had put the date of the request, I think, for his birthday, and he had put 12/18/1992 or something. So it's sorted to the very top of the list. It did not sort where I was looking for it, and so that's why we didn't have a show back on in December of 1992, so I couldn't have played your request back then.
No.
I turned 26 on the 18th of December, which means I've been listening to Scott for half my life and Brian every day since I started my full-time job as a real estate agent. You guys definitely make my commute a lot more bearable, and my thanks to you comes in the form of music. Thank you both for your hard work and dedication that you guys put into the community. I can't imagine my life without your influence. Forever thinking of Batman pooping snakes.
Oh.
Clip.
Oh, Batman pooping snakes? Do I have that?
You definitely have that.
Hold on, Batman.
Think of Batman pooping snakes.
Go, damn you!
No, that sounds like Batman.
Joker?
No, hold on. Pooping snakes?
Yeah.
Did I save this?
You better have.
Hold on, snakes. Let's just do a snakes search.
Yeah.
You ever buy snakes?
Nope. Oh, I found it.
Take the Batman pooping snakes.
Can't hear. Screw your Laurel and your Yanni and your Green Needle and all that stuff. I cannot not hear. Think of Batman pooping snakes. It's all I can
so
do.
Yeah.
Anyway, he requested 3 different songs. We're going to go with the third one because the first 2 are a little screamy, and I can't do screamy. Listen, I can do lush pop songs like we played earlier in the show, but I can't do screamy. However, this isn't a situation where it's a consolation prize. This is a great choice. This is a great song. As a matter of fact, if you listen to the Coverville Countdown for this year, you would have heard this song because it was one of the best covers of the year. This is the band Ghost, or Ghost BC, if you call them that, from their brand new album Prequel. Here's a cover of the Pet Shop Boys, It's a Sin.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
It was his first mission! And it's not going to be my last.
But it's not going to be my last.
It's not going to be. You're so right about that being like a musical sounding thing.
Yeah, it totally is.
That's really good. It's the worst
Hamilton,
Rock.
starring The Rock.
The Rock
and I'm
no
not
good.
going to miss my shot.
It was his first mission! And it's not going to be my last.
He's just going to song from there. So good. All right. Well, we've done all that. Now, what do? We're
going to pick some song title or show titles.
Show titles.
Show titles.
Let's see. Not making a French president. Macron's macaroon macaron. Morning freak show with refrigerator Bob. It's actually not bad.
That's getting a vote right there.
Yeah, I give it a vote. How to make French president? Step 1: Flaccid Peak, Colorado. Stiff Peak eruption. Think outside the gun. I like that one. Stiff Peaks.
Famous anus.
Famous anus. I'm voting for it, but we're not using it.
Yeah, we can't use it, but I'm totally voting for it.
Brian's Limp Peaks. Don't squeeze your ball till sticky goo comes out. How's this thing doing? Let's just take a look. Is it leaking anywhere?
Is it healed?
Ugh, no. It's just, I got to chuck it. That's too bad. It was a stocking stuffer for my daughter. Let's see. Don't squeeze your I got that one. Antonio Brown Hippo Farts.
I'd give me a vote too. Yanni and Hardy, because that's really funny.
Yanni and Hardy's pretty good. Let's see. Pound for a hole, belly button or cat anus. I'm giving it a vote, but it's not making it in there.
All right.
Tush taco. These are all good. You guys are always good. These are great.
There's so much too. Pages and pages.
Scott never heard a hormone. Jeez. I think our clear winner at the moment is Lesarge's Morning Freak Show with Refrigerator Bob. I feel like that's a thing and should be.
I think so too, yeah.
Oh, freaking this thing. There we go. Copied it. It's in there. That's it. That's our title. Congratulations.
There you go.
Well done, Lesarge. Brian, well done on another podcast. I guess, when do we do this again? Tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Did you watch the Terminator thing?
Yes, I watched it last night, and
was it terrible?
Should I say? No, I did not like it the first time I saw it. I liked it a lot more this time.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I don't know what time has done for me, but
the Christian Bale one, right?
Christian Bale, yeah, and Sam Worthington and Helena Bonham Carter, and
I did not. I have never seen it, so this is going to be fun to see if it's okay. All right, better than I don't even know what to make of this. This is good. All right, I'm excited now.
Crazy time.
We'll have a fantastic. Oh, he's gone. That deleted his thing. All right, well, whatever. Hey, that's it. That's it. What's this? No. Oh, that's nice. Hold on. What's this one? No, don't want that. No. 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 Yeah, we'll play that. All right. Have a fantastic day. Hey, noon to 2 today. Back to the Resident Evil for Frog Pants Plays. So tune in for that if you are inclined to watch me be an idiot. That'll be today, 12 to 2. We're back to it. Back to the twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Frog Pants Plays right here at frogpants.tv. So if you want to come watch that, that'd be great. If not, that's okay too. I wouldn't blame you. And then Skim at 5. And maybe some other stuff. I don't know. We'll talk to you guys later.